to the Silver Dollar City podcast. We made it back for episode 2.
Yes, we're back for round 2, Cole. I'm so excited.
I honestly can't believe they let us back in here.
I know,
again.
right?
Like, maybe one day we'll earn a key to the Culinary and Craft Studios.
Right, it's beautiful. I really could live here. I think I could move everything and just be satisfied here.
I think so too. Well, my goodness, almost a month has gone by. Lots has happened here at Silver Dollar City. Lots has happened with us. We got some great feedback from the original episode we're going to share later on here. And of course, ozarkly.com is where people can access some great Silver Dollar City content, including the new Silver Dollar City podcast here. And you can interact with us. Tell us what you think. Ozarkly, Ozarkly, at silverdollarcity.com. You can send us an email. And we've got a new segment, Maddie's Mailbag, where we're going to share an email that we got this last time. So maybe it'll be picked. Maybe we'll get to share some of your feedback and your questions, or let us know what you want to hear, who you want us to interview. We've got some great guest ideas lined out for the Silver Dollar City podcast, and we're just excited to be back here.
Yeah, that's something I'm looking forward to, is just hearing back from our listeners, getting that feedback. What do you guys want to hear about? What are some of your experiences at Silver Dollar City? We just want to get to know you, and I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, for sure. Well, speaking of getting to know you, weeks have gone by since episode 1. We're in the throes of summer, in the heat of vacation season. Like, what have you been up to? What's been going on?
We've had a lot of things. Last week, I actually celebrated my big 30th birthday.
That's right. With a birthday breakfast, I might point out.
Yes, you guys really outdid yourself. Here at the marketing team, I came in, I thought I was coming into a meeting. Brandy had me fooled. You had me fooled. You and Wyatt are sitting out here. You guys played a part. I was walking in. I did smell the bacon as I was walking up to the door, and I came in. I've never had a surprise birthday party. It really did bring me to tears, and pancakes, fruit. I mean, it was the whole works, and you guys know how to make somebody feel special, so thank you so much.
Well, you are special, and I love that you chose pancakes as your go-to for birthday.
Yeah,
right?
I always have to have a pancake.
I'd rather have a pancake. Mm-hmm. That's how that all came about, right?
I love a pancake. Every time I go out to breakfast, I always order a pancake. So Brandy, she remembered that.
Nice.
And she made me some pancakes.
Yeah,
but we got to celebrate 30th birthday. We went down to the lake and rented a little cabin. I tried to cook on a charcoal grill for the first time.
Okay.
I'll admit I never did. I've never done that before. I might have crisped up those burgers and that T-bone steak. At one point, I think it was on fire, and I was blowing it out. But my family was awesome. We just cut off the burnt edges and still enjoyed some well-done steak.
They were still grateful at the end.
Right.
Yeah, that's good.
How about you, Cole?
Well, now look, I have to ask though, when you're cooking with charcoal, the toughest part is how you light the charcoal. Did you use fluid? Did you use a chimney? Have you seen those things where you like put it in there and
I haven't seen it. I used lighter fluid, and I gotta say, I went a little crazy with it. I just feel like you can just really get in there. And one of my friends was like, "Okay, Maddie, that's enough." But I like it. It's
it's almost the 4th of July, light it up.
Right.
Yeah. Speaking of the 4th of July, right before the 4th, I actually got to take a road trip to Colorado. My wife's family lives out there, or at least her brother lives out that way. And so my kiddos had never seen the Rocky Mountain National Park. We got to go see Garden of the Gods. We got to go to Manitou Springs. There's like cliff dwellings. And so it was part like family gathering and part just fun Colorado tourist, road trip. But
that's awesome. Lots of exercise.
Really made some great memories. Yeah, just going out there and doing some hiking in the mountains was just refreshing, and it doesn't hurt that it's like 20 degrees cooler, when you're up there in the mountains. So that was nice. But on the backside of the 4th, we came back and did the other thing that we love to do so much, which is camping. And it was not 20 degrees cooler at Mill Creek Campground over by Kimberly City. But you know what? That's where we come in like July 5th after just a 4th of July barbecue and fireworks and stuff, and enjoyed some camping.
That's
so it's been awesome. I mean, the last few weeks have been great.
Yeah. So what's your adventure as a family? Like, do you guys do the traditional tent site, or like what do you guys like to do?
So we're glampers. We have a camper.
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
When my kids were really young, my wife and I loved float trips and camping when we were first married. And then it's like whenever I first tried to take 3 kids, I bet they were like 1, 3, and 5 or something. We thought we would venture out and try camping again. And it was like, constant trips to the bathroom,
right?
Up the road, at the bathhouse. It was like everybody was too hot.
Sweating.
And it was like, I told my wife, I was like, one day we're going to have to get a camper because I need our own bathroom and some AC or I just can't do it. It's not fun.
Every time I've been in a tent too, it seems to rain, and it's just the worst.
Oh, yeah.
It's the worst. I'm a glamper myself, and just a couple weeks ago, I got to visit over at the campground, and I am ashamed to admit, I've never been there. I've driven by the Silver Dollar Campground. It's really close to everything, which, but when you arrive, you really feel like you're in the middle of nowhere. It's lots of shade. It's been really hot. So I was just blown away by the experience. I got to visit one of the cabins and just how amazing they are. Some of them have wood burning fireplaces.
And made by our craftsmen.
Yes.
Right? Like, yeah.
And that amazes me too. They're really special. They're really unique. I couldn't believe how many people you could fit comfortably in there as well. Like we have a big family, so I was just really blown away. And Nick Nelson over there does a great job just keeping everything looking nice. The landscaping was beautiful. It's just something, and it really has that adventure of whether you do like that traditional tent site or you're going to bring your home on wheels. Or for me, I think I would probably choose the cabin.
Yeah, that's ultimate glamping.
That's ultimate glamping for me. So. I was really excited and really blown away. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people probably don't even realize there's a Silver Dollar City campground. So maybe we'll look into that. But on the 4th of July, I did shoot off some fireworks. Do your family do fireworks? Do you like them? Do you not like them?
We love them. This year, we just got but we got the little stuff. We didn't go with the mortars, although I do love those. But being at this cabin at the lake, we didn't want to make any of the neighbors too mad. But
and
the
they
fountains,
don't allow them everywhere, for the campgrounds and stuff.
But we love the snakes, sparklers. I know those are like the little stuff, but that's something I enjoy lighting off. What about you guys?
So I have family that comes in from Omaha every 4th of July. We have a barbecue at my aunt and uncle's house, and people swim and we grill out. But like my kiddos have a cousin that loves fireworks, right? Like he saves up his money, he comes down, he goes to the stand, and he like cleans them out.
That's awesome.
And now my boys, 10 and 12, like they have inherited that love of fireworks because they spend the 4th with their cousin. And so, usually give them an allotment, a budget, My youngest went over his budget this year, but, they shoot off little stuff during the afternoon and then just kind of try to save and do a show, afterwards. But yeah, we definitely shoot off fireworks. And even when we were at the lake, the 5th, 6th of July, there were still lots of fireworks going off around Table Rock. You could walk out by the shoreline and just see fireworks in every direction.
Yeah, I wonder if, because I know on the 3rd and the 4th, we had some rain come down towards the lake. And we still got to see some fireworks, but I felt like we got multiple days of show after that because some folks didn't light them off, as through the night like they would wanted to, at least down here in Branson.
So true, yes. I think a lot of fireworks shows got kind of cut short this year because of the downfall or the rainfall. But I will admit, my dog's ready for a break.
I know, those poor dogs.
He doesn't freak out, but he makes him nervous, and bless his heart, like even, in my neighborhood, just the 7th, 8th, whatever it was there were still some fireworks going off down the street. And I'm like, okay, come on, get them out of there. My dog needs a break.
I know the dogs are like, and it's funny because some dogs are so cool and they'll sit outside and enjoy them. And then others are just shaking and I feel sorry for them. But they're just like us, personalities, what can they handle? But
they like them in different ways, I guess.
Yeah.
But, well, that's fun, man. I hope everyone out there has had, a great 4th of July holiday weekend and, squeaked out some family vacations. So look, I know people that just went camping for a week for vacation. Little road trip vacations can look so many different ways. So hopefully everyone's out there enjoying them. I'm glad you had a happy 4th.
Yeah. Let us know what you did, over the 4th.
There's lots been going on here at the city as well, which is why in episode 2 here, we wanted to share some Silver Dollar City news.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I think people are hungry for that from the inside a little bit.
Right. What's been happening around the city?
Yeah. So, we kind of plucked a few headlines, out of the city just to kind of share with everybody. I'll just start with Silver Dollar City news. The first thing I couldn't help but to notice that I feel like people are buzzing about a little bit is Fire in the Hole ice cream. There's been a lot of sightings of Fire in the Hole ice cream. Okay, so not only can you get it, of course, at Hannah's Ice Cream Parlor here, but now it's popping up at local grocery stores and Walmart, in caps. I love the video Have you seen on our social pages where you open the cooler door and the Fire in the Hole theme song plays and then it shut? You know,
yes.
We need to know. ozarkly at silverdollarcity.com. Has that ever happened to you? Have you found it out in the wild? You know, have you enjoyed it yet?
Yeah. What do you think about it? You know, how does it compare to you, to our Outlaw Run ice cream, our Time Traveler ice cream? I really enjoy it. What I was blown away with ice cream is the graham cracker still being crunchy. It's not soggy. So it's like,
I know.
How did they do that?
I don't know the mysteries behind Highland ice cream, but it is delicious. And for anyone that doesn't know, you know, Fire in the Hole got its own ice cream when we opened the new version this year, and it's like s'mores inspired. So it's marshmallow ice cream, chocolate swirl, and crunchy graham cracker. And yeah, the crunch of the graham cracker is surprising.
Yeah, it's deliciousness.
Yeah,
I spotted it at, I think, every grocery store. I live in Ozark, and every time I go, I got to look for it. I'm like, where's the Fire in the Hole ice cream? It's kind of like a fun game, but I've spotted it. So I would like to hear, where have you seen it? Like, has it been, what's the furthest spot people have seen?
Ooh, good call, because I think it's even into like Oklahoma, like a little bit. So we'll see.
Yeah.
What's a headline you've noticed here lately?
Well, we just celebrated the queen of Silver Dollar City, Miss June Ward's
The Queen of Candy.
80th birthday.
The Duchess of Deliciousness.
Yeah, that's a good name. I think she would approve of that too.
Right? She needs more nicknames.
Yes, she does.
June does.
She is so special, and I know when I first met June, she welcomed me with open arms. She's known me forever. She treats me like family, and I think if you ask every Silver Dollar City employee, that they would say the same. And for her birthday, I think there was a lot of nerves, because how do we celebrate this icon the way that she deserves to be celebrated?
Yeah.
And, it was so thankful, and to see all the different departments come in and share their stories of June. I know my favorite one of her is she's quite the prankster.
Oh, yes. I've heard this.
And my favorite story is when she took Jack Hershen's parking spot. He doesn't like assigned parking spots, but she took a sign and she put it at the furthest point at Silver Dollar City parking lot and put Jack Hershen on it as his parking spot. And they laughed, and it's just hilarious.
I have heard so many prank stories from June. Like, I feel like they could write a book, right? Like, somebody needs to compile all these pranks into a book. And maybe it exists. You know, it's probably written on a flour sack.
Right.
Right. So maybe the complete copy hasn't been released yet, but I'm sure it's out there somewhere.
Yeah. So I love it.
Of the candy shop.
Go down there. She'll treat you. She'll feed your kids with spoonfuls of chocolate. It's just a really special thing. I'd love to sit down with her and just record all of her stories. One more prank that I love is when she took a picture of herself and hung it in the employee lounge and called herself the VP of travel. And they didn't notice for a couple weeks, and they pulled it down. They're like, now, June, why would you call yourself a vice president of travel? She said, well, I figured I could travel the world and report back so none of our employees have to take vacation. Man, she is just a whole lot of sweet, a little bit stubborn. We love her.
Yeah, no doubt. 80 years. Happy birthday. I know it's belated the way the podcast fell, but happy birthday, June. And so many years of service here at Silver City. She was honored last year for
56
years.
56 seasons, and still going, still working hard. She loves to have fun, but her motto is, you can have fun, you can talk, but as long as you're getting your work done.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, hey, you know what? Speaking of honoring our employees for the years of service, right? Like June, I thought, an awesome headline that recently came out of Silver City was the pin ceremony.
Oh, man.
Some great videos have come out on social media since then. But you know what? Our HR team here at Silver City treats it like their Super Bowl every year. I mean, it is such a big deal. It's a beautiful event. There was live music.
Yeah.
There was, they come in. I received my 5-year service pin. So, I'm 50 years behind June, but, they just, from 5 to 55, they honor employees for the years of service. And there's everything from, a service pin you can receive to, we had some people even on our own marketing team receive a sign inside the city walls, which is kind of neat. I mean, I don't know. Is that too inside baseball to talk about the signs?
Yeah, if you haven't noticed, like some folks, when you come visit, check out those signs. I didn't even know how many we had till I really started paying attention. And that says a lot about a company that you have that many. But the way that they incorporate things that are special to our workers here, that blew me away. Tiffany, our very own on the marketing team, her first sign that hangs from a light post
That's right. She was just honored for 25 seasons.
Yes.
Which is the benchmark to receive your sign in the park. And they are selling all sorts of great old-timey Ozarks goods and services throughout the park. Somebody who didn't realize would just find them entertaining and funny, as a part of the character of Silver Dollar City. But yeah, a lot of people are behind those signs. It was pretty cool. So the pin ceremony I thought was so incredible. Speaking of 50 seasons, Jolene Holt was honored in the costume shop. And if you've been to Silver Dollar City over the years, you're familiar with Horse Creek Band.
Mm-hmm. Butch and Larry.
That's right. Butch and Larry were honored for 50 seasons. And man, they're still playing on the square probably today, up there.
Yes, I love those boys. They grew up in Southern Illinois, and the creek that divided them was called Horse Creek. And they're like, well, that's where we got our name. And he said it's just a dream to come down here and play music and make a living out of it.
Yeah.
Some good old boys. And Jolene, you guys see those pioneer dresses across park. She has made those for 50 seasons, and she has a dress named after her, the Jolene.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll have to start asking people who they're wearing around the city.
Are you wearing the Jolene?
Wearing the Jolene.
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I think one more headline, Silver Dollar City News.
So, you mentioned those signs, and some of those people that go into that work are Jessica Loftus and Gage Becker. They are amazing. Mm-hmm. He is an amazing artist, and Jessica really goes in to get all that information. And speaking of her, she is behind the amazing Christmas lights. We have started putting up Christmas lights at Silver Dollar City July 1st.
That's right. Christmas lights are going up. So that is definitely a headline around here.
Yeah, it's amazing. I think before I started, and a lot of people would agree with me, I would think that they left them up all year long. I mean, it seems like a lot of work to put up 6.5 million lights. Mm-hmm. It takes them 4 months, to put up these lights, but only 7 weeks to take down.
Wow.
So an extensive process, but an 880,000 staples used.
Okay, so before the podcast, we were trying to figure out, do we staple in between every light? Is it every other light? And, that's for that team, I'm sure, to actually, but that sounds, in a weird way, that sounds like a conservative number for the amount of staples it would take to put up 6.5 million lights. But I guess it's not. I mean,
I agree. I thought the same thing. I thought, 6.5 million, I'm no mathematician, but I was like, how does that work? But they have it down to a science. Jessica Loftus has this binder of everything so organized. I got to go into the Christmas warehouse, and everything is organized by color, by a section of the park, whether it's the hospitality house, Midtown. Wow. And you would have to be that organized to make that process smooth and efficient.
True.
They recycle the lights every 5 years to make sure that the lights aren't fading, that they're to their brightest color. That's something that probably I wouldn't pick up with my eye, but they pay attention to the detail down to where the light faces as well. So if you're coming up Valley Road, they have paid attention to what is the best way to light this.
What color it is, where it faces, where it hangs. Well, they absolutely trace the park. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And I'm sure the section of that warehouse for the fire district has gotten bigger this season with the new fire in the hole. So, I mean, I would say 6.5 might be a little low.
Right.
I mean, I'd say it's probably more than that now.
I think we'll slowly creep that up. I mean, every year Silver Dollar is, adding a new wow factor, I think. So I'm really proud to be. And we were named USA Today's best theme park holiday event. And for a good reason, too. Just that team that goes into that and all the hard work that they pour into it. And I think we learned a fun fact, too, that if you took those lights, they would stretch all the way to Kansas City and back. So, woo! Shout out to that M&C team. We are so grateful for you and all the hard work that you guys put in. And they continue to work hard throughout the Christmas season, making sure that lights aren't, broken. And they're always on patrol to make sure the park is top notch.
Well, certainly a headline. Silver Dollar City Christmas lights are going up. So, maybe is that something cool to think about in the summertime? Maybe people can start to have, dreams of Christmas, and wintertime a little bit. Yeah. Right. There's a few days that I've needed to focus on cool things, to stay cool out there. And, just to wrap up Silver Dollar City News, we have been thinking a lot about ways to stay cool.
Yes.
Christmas lights is one thing to think about, and an old-time Christmas here at Silver Dollar City is, magical and a tradition in my family for sure. But we did also kind of like poll the room a little bit, other marketers, other people that work at Silver Dollar City, and thought we would kind of throw out a top 3, if you will. I think we each have a top 3 ways to stay cool at Silver Dollar City in the summertime, because mercy, some days
it can get a little spicy.
It can get a little spicy at here in the Ozark Mountains, when the humidity gets up, and we've had some of those days already, and we know they're coming, right?
Right.
Later into July and August. So let's do that. Let's do top 3 ways to stay cool at Silver Dollar City. What do you got at number 3?
All right, for number 3 for me, this was kind of a hard one, but I did choose cool treats because there are so many across Silver Dollar City. One of my favorites since I was a little girl is the lemon freeze, the icy that you can get, and of course Hannah's ice cream parlor. Get the blackberry milkshake. And they're all their delicious flavors. But I like to personally, and it's kind of a combined one, but get myself a cool treat, sit in that AC, and then head on over to the Wilderness Church. It also has AC. The reason that's so near and dear to my heart is I grew up singing hymns with my grandmother, and my mother is the pianist every Wednesday.
You told me that. I had no idea.
So I'll go in there and we'll sing hymns, and I love it that strangers come together and we sing loud, whether we know the hymn very well or not, or we're on pitch, or it's too high for us, and we just sing it out. And so that's a way for me. I love going in there, cooling off, and grabbing myself a cool treat.
Look, cool treat. I get it. Just direct contact, cold. To the body. You touched on one of mine. I'm going to go number 3. Ways to stay cool at Silver Dollar City is air conditioning.
Oh yeah, hey.
Right. I mean, let's be fair. If you are here on a day when it is smoldering, there are lots of places you can get in and cool off in the AC. I think about, during summer celebration and summer nights coming up, like Chris Perondi's stunt dog show with all those great rescue dogs is an indoor show. The saloon show, indoors with the air conditioning, I know our attractions team here even does a great job with some cooling centers around park, which is awesome. Places you can just go cool off. I actually didn't even realize this, just kind of as a bystander. I was walking around, and where they have Santa's Cottage?
Yeah, the carousel barn, right?
The carousel barn right across from Crossroads Pizza. Yeah, the name eluded me there for a second. They've just got seats in there. The AC's cranked up.
It's
if
dim.
It's a hot day, people can go in there and cool off. But definitely like indoor shows, cooling centers, there is air conditioning that people can enjoy at Silver Dollar City, and not everybody knows that.
Right.
So
just go in there and cool off for a little bit, and grab that treat and go sit in the AC, and that is a definite way to get some cool air and be ready to go back out into the heat.
Yeah.
So
all right.
Number two. So I chose Marvel Cave.
Oh, great one. Natural AC.
Yeah, that's right. What do we call it? Nature's OG AC. That's what you called it.
I love that. Yeah.
But I got to go on the tour.
I don't even think my name was that cool. I think you just made it cooler, actually.
Well, we went to the tour. It was about a couple weeks ago, and I had been when I was a little girl, and I know you said you haven't been for a while.
Yeah. You know what? We were talking about that the other day, where that's something that, as someone who comes here daily as an employee and brings their family regularly, you can take for granted a little bit, and I need to get the kids in there. That's, we make a summer bucket list every year of things we want to do in the summer, and Marvel Cave is actually still on there, and it's not been checked off yet, so there's still time to go down and enjoy the cool temps of Marvel Cave.
It was neat. I mean, you go down and you enter that cathedral room, which is the largest cave entrance in the United States, and it's just right below our feet, and it's so cool in there. It's 60 degrees year round, and just to hear the history and the humble beginnings of Silver Dollar City, it was really amazing, and I think that's a must-do for everyone. I'm looking forward to going back and doing the lantern tour myself, so maybe we could do that together.
All right. Yeah, you'll have to let me know when you do that, because you're right. The cave guides, I mean, to your point, are incredible, and so much of the history of this place started right there, clearly. So hearing there, how it all got its start with Marvel Cave is pretty incredible, and it is nice and cool down there.
It is, and you don't have to walk the 500 stairs out. They have the cable train, so don't worry as you're going down. Don't think, I have to walk all the way out. You do get pulled out, so that's nice.
Yeah. Oh, Marvel Cave is a great one. Gosh, I need to get down there. Well, I need to pick the hottest day, right? You look at the 10-day forecast, and then like that's the day I'm going to go tomorrow.
Yeah, and go maybe at the hottest point of the day. You know, that's like usually between noon and 2, so maybe you could plan that out. Pop in the hospitality house, check at the cave desk, and get that tour planned.
Yeah. Okay. Well, my number 2. I don't know if this is cheating or not, but it's not even here at Silver Dollar City. It's Nightwater. It's at Whitewater, our sister park. It's not very far from here. Okay. So many people, I think, that visit Silver Dollar City kind of pair it up, right?
Right.
You spend the day at Silver Dollar City. Maybe you spend the next day at Whitewater, or maybe you spend the day at Whitewater and come over to Silver Dollar City. But either way, like I know that there's so many great rides over there, and we actually, that's another thing that you can take for granted, right? As someone who is in this area regularly. But we recently had an employee event where they like shut down Nightwater was opened for just the employees and their families, and there was free food, and you were there handing out prizes for kids.
Yes.
Like, how fun was that?
Oh, it was at the Lollipop Pool, and Nick Taban, he is amazing, goes above and beyond, and it was where all the kids got a ticket, and they got to come up and pull a lollipop, and if they got no matter what, they won a prize. And these are not just like cheap prizes; they were like trending cool things like Neato balls and bubble wands, and it was just so cool to see the kids come and do that. And our HR department really goes above and beyond for families.
Well, it just kind of reinvigorated me for Whitewater. I think I've always been more the Aloha River speed, but like, man, so the slide, my kids ran around and rode the slides and did all the things, and it was so cool. So number 2, trip over to Whitewater for me, right? And it opened late. Nightwater, I think, is Saturdays. Fridays and Saturdays in July, Saturdays in August, open till 10 p.m. So there's no excuse.
This Friday, right?
Yeah, I think it
kicks
kicks off. Yeah, it kicks off here really soon.
All
what about you? Did you do number 2? No, you're on.
I'm on number 1. We're down to number 1.
You're down to number 1. Okay, I feel like we should do a drum roll or something.
Yeah, I know, like a little. So this one is Mystic River Falls for me. I grew up riding the Lost River of the Ozarks, and I, shameful to admit, I had never ridden the new Mystic River Falls. So Brandy says, Maddie, we're going on your birthday. Bring a change of clothes. We're going on the ride. And Natalie from Group Sales joined us, and she was a trooper. She didn't have a change of clothes, but it was a hot day. So, but man.
But haven't we all been there? Haven't we all went on Lost River, the Ozarks, or now Mystic River Falls, not had that change of clothes, right, as a guest, and you just walked around soggy like the rest of the day. But water rides are a great way to stay cool.
Right. It's kind of a nice way. It's like a refresh. And I thought, oh man, I won't get that wet. They say that. But we got in the boat, and we had 2 other folks in the boat with us that had never been on the ride as well. And we got drenched. I mean, you're going through, and for some reason, the boat always turned on our side. And it's funny because as you're going, you're like, ooh, and the lady next to us was like, ee. Like she kept thinking that it was going to come to her.
And I think I heard you guys talk about this out. That was literally the noise. You're doing an impression. Yeah. It was like a high pitch, like
it was. I mean, because it's coming around, and you think, oh, it's going to be me. It's going to be me. But I swear that thing hit me every drop we had. And then you get to this amazing mechanism where you're raised up into the sky, and you go down the slide, and it's fast.
Yeah.
You're whipping around, and of course stuck to the back, big drop, and you get down, and it was like slow motion wave coming up over my head, and just whoosh, soaked from head to toe.
Perfect for a hot day.
Right, right. And Brandy's like, well, let's go back to work.
Time to go back to the office. Right. We're drenched.
Yes. So it was so much fun. I had a great. I smiled from ear to ear. My face was hurting.
So you know what? Talking to water rides, you have to be in the right mood. Okay, but if you go down to Tom and Huck's, right, because you're going to get sprayed by somebody, right? The water guns are on the shore. Kids are savage, right? When it comes to water guns, they don't, they don't pick favorites. It's like everybody's fair game, and whether they're shooting from the boats or shooting from the shore, you're going to get wet, and you're probably going to get shot in the face. But on a hot day,
I don't mind.
You don't mind. It feels pretty good to go down there. But that's one of those water rides. Some days when we're here, I'm like, kids, you go ahead. And then other days, I'm like, all right, I'm in.
I'm all in. I'm ready.
I'll go shoot a kid with a water.
Yeah, because you get drenched.
Yeah, you do get drenched. But anyway, all right, I did great. Number 1.
Okay.
For me,
down
number
to the
1,
final.
because I not only think it's a great way to stay cool at Silver Dollar City, but I find it to be a totally different Silver Dollar City experience to come at night. Summer Nights kicks off in July. It's coming up the 13th, I think.
Yeah,
July 13th.
Saturday.
Look, and I, for my whole life, have loved Silver Dollar City at night. I just feel like from the roller coaster experiences, like riding those in the dark, to seeing bats fly at night, right? They come out at night and you're like, ooh, is that a bird? Nope. Flying a little erratically. That's probably a bat. He's just out, taking care of some of those bugs and mosquitoes out there. But I just find wandering the streets of Silver Dollar City in the dark via lamppost, right, to just be magical. I love this place at night. And so summer nights, before I ever come to work at Silver Dollar City, was always one of our favorite times to come.
Yeah. What I love about summer nights too is it really is a different atmosphere. You come at night during harvest or Christmas and it's really lit up through the streets, but summer nights is a different feel. It's a different experience. Wildfire, when you typically see that beautiful Table Rock Lake and all the Ozark Mountains, you see like twinkling lights as you go up to the big drop. So it's a really neat atmosphere and definitely a lot cooler at night.
And if you didn't get your fill of fireworks on the 4th of July, they shoot off fireworks every night during summer nights. I know that, it's just fun walking past Echo Hollow and hearing live music. They do that every night. So you're right. It's just a different feel. They do dance parties on the square. It just is a different Silver Dollar City, and I just have always loved it. And, a lot of times that visit, though, is in the name of staying cool, right? Not coming in the heat of the day, but coming and enjoying summer nights at Silver Dollar City. So, man, that is right around the corner, and I couldn't help but to, mention that as number one.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And a good way for families, if you do want to come stay all day, check out some of those ways to stay cool and then ride into the night.
Okay, so I know they didn't make our top 3, but in discussing, did you have any honorable mentions, any runners-up, ways to stay cool at Silver Dollar City that come to mind?
Well, people have gotten creative. I don't know if you see when you walk around the park, and I think, they've made those fans that go around your neck and they blow up towards your face, and these air conditioning things you can hook on your belt and they blow up your shirt.
I haven't even seen those.
Yeah, it's new things. They're always being innovative and coming up. I even had to wear when I had to dress up as a dinosaur. That's another story at the showboat. But they put me in this cooling vest that had ice packs in it.
Okay.
So people pop those on. It's just hilarious. Different ways to stay cool. Cooling towels.
Okay. All right. Wow. I have not seen the internal cooling mechanism. Sometimes you just see people wear a cold towel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Soak it down.
Absolutely. Well, that's a good honorable mention. Yeah. Not only the things you do, but the things you wear.
Right.
Can make a.
That's right.
Well, I know we already we mentioned this earlier. That we want to hear from you, so if there are ways you love to stay cool at Silver Dollar City, there's lots of summer left, lots of time still for those summer vacations, and let us know, ozarkly at silverdollarcity.com. You can send us an email, and maybe we'll mention that, on episode 3, Lord willing. What is the saying? Lord willing and the creek don't rise? Isn't that what they say?
That's right.
We'll be back, episode 3. And not only do we, want to share ways to stay cool, but we actually are maybe going to try out a little feature here, right? Something we're going to do kick off this episode called Maddie's Mailbag, where we will feature at least one person's email, every episode.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So who'd you pick? What's in Maddie's Mailbag this week?
So we're getting into Maddie's Mailbag here. Let's see. This one came from James. It says, Maddie and Cole, congratulations on your first Ozarkly podcast. I listened to it today and enjoyed hearing your memories of growing up in the Ozarks and going to Silver Dollar City, along with your descriptions of the original Fire in the Hole roller coaster and its new improved version. Maddie, I will miss seeing you in the saloon show, but I'm glad you're staying at SDC. I'm looking forward to hearing you all on future podcasts. Well, thanks, James. That was really nice.
Yeah, no, James, very well spoken, by the way. I could take a class from him on how to write a nice email. Right.
He really hit all of what we talked about on our last. I love that he mentions, seeing me in the saloon show. That is a really special place. I spent many years there, and I truly couldn't be where I am today without it. When I first started there, I was scared to even talk on a mic or be in front of audiences.
No way.
Yeah, and I felt really timid, and doing that every day and really interacting with the guest and really growing to love this park more and more. When I was a little girl, I actually performed. My first performance gig was at the Gazebo, and it was 1998 for the Wind FM.
No way.
Yes, and I sang Happy Birthday, Jesus, and I knew from that day forward that I wanted to work here. I wanted to perform here, and I wanted to grow in my career here, and I'm just so excited to make the transition over to the PR team and work with just wonderful people, have mentors and leaders. So I'm really excited for that. I will miss seeing some of those folks, but I'm still here at the park and really excited to represent such a wonderful place.
That's awesome, man. And now think about it. Now kids are dreaming of being podcast hosts.
Yes.
Yeah, when they come. Or watch our podcast on Silver Dollar City. Like, it's funny how, as kids, our surroundings, like, you wanted to perform here, seeing all the great performances and getting a chance to do that here. Like, it's just funny how, now what kids aspire to do, you know what I mean? And that's neat to see that full circle.
Yes.
Bring you back here. We're so happy to have you. And to James's point, we did talk a lot about fire in the hole last time. I hope, I don't know if James experienced it. He didn't necessarily say that, but hopefully some people have been able to come and, check out the new fire in the hole since. And I'm pretty sure stories about our childhoods growing up here, as case in point, are probably going to continue to make their way into the podcast because it's hard not to. Right. This place just, it's full of nostalgia, I think for so many people across the Ozarks and so many season pass holders, every year. So we want to share those stories. And by the way, James, anyone else, we want to hear your stories, your points of nostalgia around the park. I know we threw this out earlier, but ozarkly at silverdollarcity.com. Send us an email. Let us know people you'd like us to talk to, things you'd like to hear about. Share your stories, and maybe we'll even get a chance to share them on the podcast in Maddie's mailbag. That was fun.
I would love that. Yeah, submit those stories. Want to hear what are those things that you still do at Silver Dollar City, things that are the same, and what are some things that have changed over the years?
Yeah, for sure. Well, one thing that hasn't changed is this was fun, just like episode 1.
It was a blast.
Glad to be here in the Culinary Craft Studios. Again, Lord willing, we'll be back for episode 3. We hope to hear from you at ozarkly.com in the meantime. But for now, you've got a great past ahead of you at Silver Dollar City.